Whoa! Wow. This is just taking line massively. Well, good evening. Slightly different style of intro today because it's really windy, a lot windier than I thought it was going to be. But we're out fishing, we've made the effort, and hopefully we can get rewarded for that. My last session, we tried to fish at Bryston, and we got massively weeded out with my stepson, Jake. And you know what? I was like, I'm not giving up on that. So I've come out tonight. Instead, we're going to be battling the wind. But, I mean, as you can see, the conditions behind me, they look pretty good. So we're fishing the back of the island. I think we've maybe got 2 hours of the flood. It's a bit later than I'd hoped to be out, but the conditions look great. So I haven't really got a target, so to speak, but I have got some bass baits. And after watching a few videos, which I'm sure you all have watched, there's quite a few bass coming around at the moment, so it'd be nice if I could get one. I've had a couple of goes in the past so far this year when we were able to keep them, and I've had no luck whatsoever. So I've got crab and I've got mackerel, I've got one frozen pout. So hopefully we can get something. There's a chance of a smooth hound, there's a chance of a ray, there's a chance of a conger, but predominantly I would really like to try and get a bass. Be nice to get a bass to the table. So without further ado, I'm going to quickly get set up. I didn't do any filming on the way down because I'm late, so there's going to be no intro, but I'm sure I can get some music in at some point. But let's get these rods going, let's get the reels on, and let's get fishing, because as I'm sure you're aware by now, I am buzzing. Let's get a fish. So I'm fishing with my 2 Daiwas today. I've got my bass rod with me, and I am targeting a bass really, but I think this wind, I mean, it's pretty much, it's supposed to be northwesterly, which means it would be coming basically from behind me, slightly from my left as I look at the camera. But it's hitting the back of my neck. It's coming straight off the sea, which is basically southwesterly, really. So I'm casting straight into the wind. So with that in mind, I've got both my Daiwas, which are my heavier rods. They're both 4 to 8 ounces. One's an air surf, one's a tournament pro surf. And yeah, 4 to 8 ounces. This one, the air surf, has got a slightly softer tip. And to be honest, I find it easier to cast. You know, I'm not the best caster in the world. I can get a bait in the water, you know, but this one I find it a little bit easier to load up. It's a little bit more user friendly. Tournament Surf Pro, which is actually a cheaper rod, but it's far more powerful. And even with my inexperience, I can tell that I'm not getting the best out of it. Still goes out a long way, don't get me wrong, but I'm still not really loading it. I'm not getting that power out of it. But when the fish is on there, it's a really nice rod to fish with. So I'm fishing with my Shimano power arrows. Like I say, all of my gear is second hand. So it's not like I've gone out and spent, you know, I've spent some money, but I haven't spent what I should have spent because I got them second hand. This air surf I bought from a second hand online retail shop that rhymes with Ismay, and but my Tournament Pro Surf I did buy new, and I think I paid something like £280 for that one. Right, I am waffling, trying to get these rigged up as quickly as I can in this wind. Hi, that's close, isn't it? I'm afraid it's got to be, because I've got you bungee to my box with this wind. I've lost that camera too many times, and to be honest, it's only ever happened once on the sand, and trying to get it all clean is a nightmare. So, bass in mind for today, but also definitely a chance of a smooth hound. So I'm going to be fishing a dongle on one side. Look at those, hey? They look cool, don't they? They look well pro. Come into a tackle shop near you. So I'm fishing with a 3.0 dongle on one side, 6 ounce grippers, and on that I'm going to fish with a crab bait all night. I've got some shore crab, and I've also got some spider peelers. And on the other side, I've got a 3.0 pulley pennel, and on that side I'm going to fish with a mackerel bait. I've also got a few squid, but not many, So it's mainly going to be mackerel and pouting. I'm probably going to, first off, I'm going to just whack them, and then I'll bring them in a little bit as the tide comes up. But hey, looks wicked out there. Look at it. Look at that. Lovely bit of chop on the water. Sorry. Yeah, lovely bit of chop on the water. Doesn't look like there's too much weed. I think I'm above the high tide line. So really, we're good to go. So let's get a dongle bait out to begin with, I think. So frozen peelers, because that's all I've got. This is actually pretty big. And I am going to fish with a dongle, why not? But because those claws are pretty big, I'm going to keep those. So I'm just pulling the claws off. Like I say, this is frozen, it's already dead. Frozen and defrosted twice. But hey ho, when needs must. And crab is so expensive. If I've got some left at the end of the night, it's going straight back in the freezer. So I'm going to peel off the back shell, all the undercarriage. So if you can see there, look, it's all nice and soft. What am I going to do with the legs? They're going to take the back ones off. Do you know what? I'm also going to take one side off. So that's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to take one side off. I'm going to leave these ones dangling. If they stay on in the cast, great. If they don't, no biggie. I'm going to do the old cut, which is basically, as I open it, look at that. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a nice first bait to go out. Pretty excited about that. So I'm using my dongle baiting tool, which will go in at the bottom, because I want my hook at the top and I want the legs hanging off at the bottom. Because that will give me, hopefully, make the bait look a little bit more natural. I'm excited about today. I'm excited every time I go fishing. But I think because Jacob and I had a blank on the last session, it's made me that much more keen. There we go, I'm just binding that on. That much more keen to try and get into a fish tonight. And I reckon my chances are pretty good. Oh mate, this is a lovely bait. Right, let's bind some of those legs actually on there, because I reckon my dongle's long enough. I'm going to smack this out. I'm going to put this out on the heavier rod, I suppose. There we go, look at that. That is beautiful. I should have kept that. I've got a comp coming up on Saturday. Never mind. What am I doing? Rig, dongle. Yeah, I've got a comp on Saturday. I haven't fished a comp for like 2 months. I'm really excited about it. I do enjoy the match fishing. Like I say, especially our club, it's not too serious. Everyone's out there to help each other. Of course, there's a little bit of competitiveness, because let's face it, we wouldn't be doing a competition if we didn't want to try and win something. There's multiple prizes. Best specimen, heaviest fish, overall bag, second, third. So there's plenty of opportunity to sort of win your money back and also get some bragging rights against some of your mates who you're fishing with. So I've just stuck that 3.0 right in the top of that bait, sticking out nicely. Got my dongle running down the side so I can wrap that up. I'm actually, I'm excited about fishing, but I'm a little bit anxious, as you can probably tell, which is why I'm talking a lot. This bait is going to be, if I don't get a fish on this bait, something wrong. Absolutely stunning. Especially a hound. Hound will smash this. I say a lot of people use bigger hooks, and I sometimes use bigger hooks, but not today. So the 3.0s all the way. 3.0s in all of my rigs today. There we are, look at that. That is beautiful. So I'm back to the old imps after that last fiasco where I was getting a bite and it didn't come unclipped. And after speaking with Nobby from Slamfish, he did say that with the splashdown, it's a metal piece that slides up but actually normally pushes your hook out. If you've got braid in there and you're not using some sort of ring or something for your dongle, then it jams up the braid rather than pushing it out. But look at that. That looks epic. £60, a little bit shorter than I normally make them. Let's get it out. There we go. I've forgotten my finger stool today. I always forget something. Let's get it out anyway, and hopefully we can get a fish on the first cast. But do you know what? If I can get a fish any time tonight, I'll be chuffed. But yeah, I forgot my finger stools. That's a bit of a shame, but we should be all right. We've got a massive drop on this. Still got my broken finger. Still got a bit of wood strapped under it. Let's get this out. So, more height than distance then, but never mind. It's out there, and if there's a bass lurking around, it will take it. So yeah, that wind is starting to swing now. It's hitting me from the side, which means I've got a real crosswind. Got a big bow in the line going that way, but Roger in the water. £30 mono today. Again, I haven't gone off the braid, but I'm not using it as much as I was. I think it's because I think it's right in the right situations. Today doesn't feel like one of them, so I'm sure it's probably fine, but right, let's get the other one sorted. Right, so on the other one, it's nice, I can see the rod, so I can chat to you. I am going to put on a Joey mackerel, but I'm only going to put half of it on. So I've just cut it with my scissors at a diagonal, so I've got more of the stomach in there. I say it's not a huge bait at all. Basically, it gives me 2 baits from one Joey. Later on, if I want to chuck a whole one out, then I can. I've got maybe 5 or 6, so it's covered in sand, which is always nice. Do you know what? I can't even remember how to bait up. Right, what we're doing? Pulley pennel. Oh mate, this is nice. It is a bit windy, but I think Daisy's hopefully going to pop down and see me later, and hopefully can show her a nice bass. But I'm not going to get my hopes up too much, because let's say, as we all know, sometimes even though it feels really fishy, sometimes it just isn't. So I've got a 3/0 wide mouth hook there, and then I've got a 3/0 circle hook for the pennel. I just put my double pronged baiting tool in the cut end of that mackerel, give me something to bind to. I mean, it doesn't really need to keep straight, but what it does mean is when I put my hooks in it, I've got something to hold on to, which makes life a lot easier. Actually, in all fairness, I think I've done this the wrong way around, really. Should have put it in the other way, but never mind. Keep putting my bait elastic in my pocket, which I'm sure you've done as well, where my phone is, which means every time I put my hand in my pocket to get it out while I'm baiting up, I get lovely fish juices all over my phone. And then when I'm making a phone call, I'm like, what's that smell? Or is that just me? Right. Nearly did it again. Right, and there we go. Circle hook out at the top there, really nice and proud. Another hook down at the bottom. Again, they're not massive hooks, but I figure if there's a bass out there, it's going to get hooked on it. But likewise, if there's a ray out there, that will also get hooked up on it. Because what I don't want to do is just go out with 6/0s targeting a bass and then not catch anything. Whereas if I go out with 3/0s, I can still catch a bass and potentially something else if there isn't a bass around. But let's get this on and get it out. Right, here we go then. Second cast and then we're fishing. See if we can get a bit better this time. Probably just trying to show off a little bit in front of the camera. Totally messed it up, but never mind. Let's go. There we go. That's out there. See what I mean? This is the lighter one. Well, it's the tippier one. So it's a bit softer, but it will still cast 8 ounces. And to be honest, I get on better with this one. The air surf. So there we are, fishing, finally. I've got some more crab and my pout defrosting there because it's still a little bit frozen. Some of the other stuff is okay, so I'm going to bait up another rig for each rod. And hopefully, yeah, we can get into something. But it looks fishy. We've got a nice bit of rolling surf, but it's gentle, you know, it's very fishable, which is nice. There's not a sign of any weed in the water. Not yet, anyway. Yeah, I like it. Fingers crossed we can get a fish. We'll have enough yakking and I'm going to sort some stuff out. So as you can see, it didn't take me very long to decide to put out pretty much a whole joey. It's just my spare rig that I'm going to pop underneath. So it's exactly the same rig that I'm going to be using. And as you can see there, that pouch, I've just stuck my scissors through there a little bit just to let out some of those juices and the guts and hopefully let out some of the scent. So that is my next one to go out on my right hand rod. Yeah, so they've probably been out there, I don't know, 15 minutes. Thought I had a bite on my left hand rod on the crab. The right hand rod has got some weed on it, but only a tiny bit. But all my bait I've got from Kraken sea baits from Slamfish, Isle of Wight in Newport today. He's always got really good bait in there. So I'm hoping today it's going to do the business. I've got 2 rigs ready to rock and roll. And like I say, I thought I had a little nudge, but it hasn't moved since, so I'm going to say it probably wasn't. I mean, these are probably the best conditions I've seen for a bass this year that I've been able to get out. And the trouble is, you know, somebody said on one of the comments the other day, never fish low. Well, sometimes, you know, I work 5 days a week. And if I want to get an edit done for a Friday, I have to come out on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And that really doesn't matter what the tides are doing. So today I'm lucky, I can fish over high and down. But next week I'll probably be fishing high down. I mean, you all know how it goes. When you go out fishing is when you can go out fishing. More often than not, anyway. But yeah, we're lucky tonight, fishing up over high and probably about 2 hours back down. So there we go. Hopefully this will be the one. I do much prefer using a finger stool, I've got to be honest, but at least with a leader, it's not too bad. I used to come fishing all the time with 30 pounds straight through and no finger stool. And man, when you get that wrong, you know about it. Get this out, hopefully. There we go. Nice. That's the one. There we go. Yeah, let's get a bass, shall we? Or anything. Anything will do. Yes, wind is brutal. What I will do as well, when I bring that crab bait in, if it's still reasonably decent, even if it's just a little bit of juice in there, I will save it, because if I end up getting through all of my crab, I can sort of pick and choose the best bits that have been left over that I've brought in, you know, and mush them up a little bit, give them another bind, and then get them back out. And hopefully, like I say, just really utilising everything that I can. Because sometimes it comes back and you think, bloody hell, you know, it might have washed out a bit, but if you can get a little bit of the juices flowing again, then as far as I'm concerned, it's good to go. Okay, I'm going to bring that in. Let's have a look. Seems like there's a little bit of weight here. What's that? Yeah, I thought I had a bite, and I did. It's the smallest conger eel known to man. Well, there we are. Tiny, tiny little conger eel, but we're not blanking. But yeah, took that bloody peeler crab. Anyway, let's get it back in. I reckon congers that size would probably make good bait. Oh, that's all right. It's a fish on the first cast. Oh dear. There we are. So on that one, it's a bit of a smaller peeler crab. So what I've done is I've taken one of those squids and I've cut the head and the guts out of it, and I've just bound it together with that. So let's get that out. Oh, tiny conger. Anyway, it's a fish. Now that was a better cast. Much better. See what I mean, right? So that's had a fish on it. And there's still, you can still see quite a lot of orange goo. And I think orange goo is good goo. So I'll cut that off, and I'll just dump it on a rock over there. And I'll do the same with that crab when that comes in. And if I do run out, which I shouldn't do, I think I've got something like 8 crabs, which I know isn't a lot, but do you know what I mean? That's like 12 quid's worth. And one of them's a big spider, which I'll get a couple of baits out of. Anyway, let's get this baited up. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So that's a spider peeler there, that is. Now around here, around these parts, spider peeler, when you can get it, is king. So I'm hoping that this could produce a fish tonight. That sun is going to start setting soon. It's stunning. But yeah, I've been fishing just with the shore peelers for a bit, because I haven't got many of these. Like I say, they're not really properly peeling yet, but there are a few around. So if you know the right people, or you go and get them yourself, you can get a couple. But yeah, spider crab. Spider crab! Look, just to show you as well, you don't need to use one of those shepherd crook baiting needles. So this is just still on my normal baiting needle. And I've gone in from that, I've hooked the hook into the end, I've just laid the braid over the top and then bound it. So it's not like you need to go and spend that extra few quid on getting one. It does make life easier, but it's not essential. I'm going to keep talking to the camera, because more often than not, I'll talk to you like this, because more often than not, when I talk to the camera, I get a bite. It's not happening now, but I went out on Sunday. We had a lovely barbecue, but I went out, managed to catch a bream. I didn't take the camera for a change. It's the first time I haven't filmed with the camera for, crikey, over a year, and I must admit it was quite nice. And typically I got into a few fish. So I fished the daytime. I literally fished for like 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. Had a couple of bream, only one for the table, one was too small. Had a smooth hound on my bream rig and a dogfish. So I thought that was quite productive for a few hours. I did lose a few rigs, mind you, but it was definitely nice to get into the bream. They are here, they're not here in numbers, but it's definitely nice to be able to take a bream home for the barbecue. And I did toy with the idea of going again today, but again, the tides aren't really right for it. you know, to fish over. It's quite a reasonably decent sized tide tonight. And fishing at some of the Solent venues, most of the Solent venues, in all honesty, when you fish that ebb, it can be really difficult. So you've got to pick and choose your tides. You see it. Oh, hello. What's up there? Sure, this one just went slack and then went tight again. Could be nothing. Yes, everyone on the island is getting pretty excited at the moment because obviously we got the Isle of Wight festival coming up in a couple of weeks. So that should be a lot of fun. Something having a go on that. There we go, there we go, there we go. Fish on. Oh yeah. Well, this could be a hound. Oh, just dropped it. Oh no. Just dropped it. Oh. Oh no. Gutted. Oh, I'll have to check this. Yeah, still on there. So it wasn't a conger. Oh man, alive. Oh, that was a beauty bite. Oh, right. Let's get this next bait out there. Oh, no way. Oh. Oh, it makes me feel ill. Oh, that's good though. Right, let's get this straight back out. This is why I always like to have my rigs ready to go, even when I'm pleasure angling, because now my heart is racing. I can't wait to get another bait out in the water. And, oh, this has gone all horribly wrong. That rig's bust up, never mind. Yeah, it means you can just get that bait straight out there without any faffing about. Oh no, can't believe I dropped that. I think it was a hound, because it was fighting on the way in, so I don't think it was a bass. I hope it wasn't a bass. Well, I don't know. If it was a bass, it might still be out there, so. Yeah, it's turned my, might have been a conger, you know, because it's turned my hook. But anyway, crab and a squid that was. Oh! I am gonna try and hide my disappointment as best I can. But that was a great bite. Couple of little taps, and then it just went straight over. Reeled in, do you know what it was? I should have just wound into it slowly, circle hook, you see? So it might have actually been my fault. Never makes you feel good, does it, when you drop a fish? Daylight though. Daylight. Right, let's get another one. Get another one. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go. We got it this time, I think. Feel like we have, anyway. Oh, I thought we got something. But it's not fighting like I thought it might. It's quite light actually. What's going on? Oh no, there we go. It's just woken up. It's going down tide. Going light. What's going on? What's going on? Going, we've got something. Here we go. What have we got? Got ourselves a little hound. Ah, there we go. Right, I've got no baits in the water whatsoever. But there we go. Lovely little hound. I don't know, maybe 3, maybe 4 at a push. But it's a fish. And it must have been what the other one was. We're gonna get this one straight back in and see if we can't get another one. Beauty. Look at them. Nice story, look at that. Stunning. Yoo-hoo! Yeah, so I'll be keeping that bit of crab because it wasn't out there for very long. And there's a couple of decent bites we've had now. Landed one fish and we've had 2 bites. 3 bites really, one on that mackerel as soon as it went in really. Very shortly after anyway. So I've properly broken one of those clips, so I'm going to get rid of that rig and get a new one out. Going to really keep an eye on these rods tonight. Oh, I'm chuffed we landed something. Like I say, we've missed a couple. As soon as I've done this one, I'll get another mackerel bait as well. So all I've done is I have actually used that spider, just wrapped a piece of squid, hang on, left-hand rod. Something picked that up then, I think. Just quickly, while I'm redoing this one, this whole mackerel was absolutely annihilated by the crabs. So it's always worth just checking the line, making sure there's no nicks in it, because the last thing you want to do is chuck it back out, hook into a fish, and then it snaps just because we didn't check it. I've got to say, it's never happened to me, but I certainly don't want it to either. So just at that time of night now where the lighting, the filming gets a little bit more difficult. It'll only be like this for about half an hour, but I've already had to get a torch on, you see, to light my face up. It's not exactly dark. I've got 2 baits ready to go again. Oh yes, chuffed. I mean, looking at the tide line, I think we've probably still got at least another half hour, I would say, at the flood. And then we'll get that change of tide. And that's what I'm really excited about. So it did look like I had a little bit of a bite on that mackerel bait, but I don't know, it could have just been it finding itself because I was still faffing around with it, so. I don't know what's going on. Well, there we go. Sun is now properly gone. Dropped in behind those white cliffs over there. The end of that is where the needles are. So basically on the other side, you've got Allen Bay, another really great fishing spot, which I haven't actually been to this year at all. So maybe I'll try and get out there again soon. The sea, this wind has dropped completely off now. The sea has started to calm down as well. I think what I'm going to do is the next mackerel bait I put out, I'm going to probably put it in a little bit closer. I think I want to say that tide has started to move back, but I'm not entirely sure. I feel like the high tide line is quite a bit higher, but I think I'm going to give them maybe another 5 or 10 minutes and I'm going to change those baits. This is what I was saying about earlier. I've got to get so close to the camera for it to recognise my face, to light it up a little bit. Yeah, it's just this witching hour, which is also, for me, I don't know if it actually is the best time to catch a fish, because I don't know if I do any better now than I do later when it's dark. Or like I said, I've already had a smooth hound, so. But it always feels like it's going to be fishy. It always feels like it's going to be now that it's going to be switching on. But whether it does or not is a different story altogether. But I do know I will be putting out 2 fresh baits just when it is that dusk, the last sort of light, which is going to be in about, probably like I say, about 10 minutes. So right, so I'm having a little go. I'm getting quite a bit more of a drop on them now. And I keep forgetting to keep my arms up high and then hit it when it's on the, just when it's there. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's out. There we go. I can do this casting thing. Now there we go, look at this. I mean, it's no wonder that the bass and the smooth hounds go mad for this stuff. So that is only half a peeler spider crab. Could have probably got a few more baits out of it, but I mean, it's oozing. I want to get that scent in the water. I really want to try and get another fish. I really want to try and get a bass. So, and I figure more scent we get out there, the more chance we've got of getting a fish. Oh, there we go. There we go. Slack line. Slack line. Whoa! Wow. This is just taking line massively. Jesus. If it's a hound, it's a big one. That just absolutely went off like a train. We're at a bit of a standoff here. Whoa, man. Come on, mate. I don't even think I've got my line back from where it went off. Right, getting some line on it now though. Whoa. What have we got? I've got my sling as well, just in case. It's going up tide at the moment. Getting a bit on it now. Come on, mate. What we got? I would turn you around, but I'm too scared. I don't want to lose this. Well, it's definitely a hound. It's not as big as I thought it might be, but it's not a bad one. God, that absolutely went off. Oh, there we go. Now that's a bit better, isn't it? Look at that one. Absolutely went off. When I pulled it in, I thought this was going to be big. I mean, it's still a pretty decent size. I think it's definitely worth weighing. No idea if it's a double or not, but look at that. Whoa, epic. Right, we're zeroed. Let's check it out. Yeah, I don't know if it will go 10 or not, but No, nowhere near. 8, 9.5. But that is beautiful fish. Look at those. So both of them have had the stars. I think they're just both basically common smooth hound, I think is what they're saying now. But we always used to think that it was two different species. The starry, because this one's got the stars on the back, the spots, and the common, which hasn't, but beautiful. Let's get this straight back in, get another bait out there. They are so cool to see swim off. And that was on that recycled crab bait. And all I did is put a little bit of squid up the side of it. It'd already been out there once, had a fish, and the second time it went out, got another fish. So 2 smooth hounds on the same crab. Yes, mate. You see, I've got the camera quite high. I've had to angle it. I've got my rod tips quite high. I could probably drop them down in a bit. But for the moment, I've got them a bit higher because I didn't know if there's going to be any weed in the water. And also because there was a bit of swell rolling through. But there isn't anymore, so I can drop them down and I can get a bit of a better camera angle. Because to be honest, it's a bit of a pain because when I'm here, I look tiny and really short. Well, I am tiny and short, but at least when the camera's angle's a little bit better, I don't look quite so small. Let's see if we can't get another one. I'd like to try and get a bass. But as a bycatch, smooth hound's not a bad fish to catch, is it? Absolutely beautiful. I know a lot of people don't use tip lights. They prefer to use head torches, and I kind of get where they're coming from because it means they're constantly looking at their rod tips. And as we all know, I miss quite a few fish. But I don't know, these look cool. And it means you get to see the rod tips. So, no brainer. Such a shame on our last go. Like I say, when we came down to Bryson last time with Jake, this is the sort of thing I really wanted to get him into because he's never had a smooth hound or anything like that. Basically anything that's pulled back really. Yeah, it would have been great to get him into one, but such is life. We come back today and it's much better, so I will try and get him down here again and hopefully get him into some fish. There we go. There we go. Right, head torch on. Yeah, I'm going to put a pout out, I think, on that other one. I've got a couple of frozen pout that, well, I've caught them in the past. Little bycatch stuff. Pout don't go back very well, so if they're big enough to eat, we'll take them home and eat them. Failing that, I'll take them for bait. If I think it will go back, I will put it back, but quite often those sort of small ones, the sort of 4 to 6 inch ones, sometimes you don't even know they're on. That rod just went then. And then here we go, look. We're getting a bite again. Think so anyway. Could be weed. Won't get our hopes up just yet. Be nice to get a bass. Definitely went. Keep an eye on that. Let's get this one off. Oh, there we go, look. Trying to sort this other bait out as well. Something was definitely having a play with that. Is that the bass that we're waiting for? Could it be a bass playing with that bait? Come on, take it. I mean, you know, that could be a bass because it's playing with it a bit more. I mean, it could be any. It could be a blooming conger. It could be anything. Conger took one of the crabs anyway. So while we're waiting, let's get a pouting out. Well, I don't know what that was. It could have just been. Could be weed. It's basically all I've done. I'm going to keep an eye on it this time because I know there's a bite there. Taken all the fins, I've taken the tail and all the fins up the top and on the bottom off that pouting. Just going to snip across its nose, leaving its eyes on there, so it's a bit of a blunt nose. And then I'll just put it on, bind it all up, and then I'll show you it when I chuck it out anyway. Could just be oh, there we go. That is something on there. Or something having a go. Oh, I hate it. Hate it when you drop your bait that you're trying to wrap up on the beach. And it all unravels. I don't know what to make of that. I think there's probably something really small on it. Got a feeling it's a little conger. Yeah. Oh. Oh, it's not that little, but yeah, there's something on there, I think. Oh, it's small. But it's on the surface already. So I reckon it's a little strap conger. There we go, just cut my rig off it. But as he was kicking a minute ago, but let's get it straight back in anyway. Another rig down. He was well and truly tangled in that, so there's no way I was going to get him off it. So just abandon the rig. I even snotted all the way up my leader. Right, let's get another rig out then. So spot the deliberate mistake. Like I was saying earlier, don't forget to take your bait tool out of the bait. There we go. So there we go. So that's that pouting. It's quite a big bait, but like I say, I am going for a bass. Doesn't necessarily have to be a big bait. We got a fish on. I'm sure I tightened down on that. And this time I'm literally just going to dump this 20 yards out. See if there's a bass cruising along the edge. That's it. So when I cast that out, got a nice dollop of pouting juice on the side of my head. Yeah, so fresh baits are out there again. We've got a peeler crab and squid combo on the left-hand side. And on the far side, we've just got that pouting that's just gone out. So I need to get another rig out to replace that one that's just been chopped up. And I need to get another fish bait ready to go as well. I do find that a bit of squid with peeler crab, it's not about having the extra scent, it's because you cut the crab open, because obviously you want that juice to release, you want all that scent out there, but likewise you don't want it to wash out too quickly, so a little bit of squid over the sort of open area where all the juice is coming out, to me is it's just slowing the release down a little bit, so the bait will last, you know, it'll be releasing the scent for longer essentially, because I don't know how long it takes obviously to wash stuff out, but I don't think it's very long at all. So yeah, as you can see there, look, it's not like it's, you know, there we go, that's better. So as you can see, there's still loads of, look, it's dripping. It's still loads of juice coming out of that, but, you know, it will be a bit slower releasing, and therefore should last a little bit longer out there. And, you know, when you're putting peeler crab out, you know, it's all right. Like, yes, we can get them ourselves sometimes, which is great, obviously, but can't always do that. And, you know, if you're paying £1 to £1.50, £1.60, £1.70 for a crab, yeah, for a crab, you don't really want it to only be in the water, washed out after 15 minutes. That becomes a very expensive fishing session. So this is the best time for me with the camera. So I keep saying about the filming and stuff and the lighting. When that sun goes, now it's pretty dark out here. But this is the best time for the filming for some reason. The lighting's really good. The light lights me up. You can see the rod tips behind me and you can see me standing here. It's brilliant. But yeah, that dusky time, it's a nightmare. Those are the things we have to think about making the videos. Sure, I just heard my drag go. What happened there? I missed something. I think something's picking up that pout. I bet that rod was bouncing up above me. Literally bent down and I just heard my drag going. Just getting a joey mackerel ready as well for that same rod. And if something's had a go, then maybe it doesn't like the taste of a frozen pouting. Maybe it would prefer a joey mackerel. So I know, like, I'm bass fishing, I've said this before, I am bass fishing, I am using a head torch, and I have got a lamp over there. But I'm not too worried about it tonight, purely because there's quite a lot of colour in the water. And to be honest with you, by the time that light gets down there, I think it's going to be quite diffuse in the water, and I don't think it's going to put them off. When the water's clearer, obviously, you know, I do try to angle my lighting and put the camera in a position so basically I can shine the light off the water. But yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I didn't see the rod, but I'm pretty sure I heard my drag go on my reel. Well, I'm not going to lie, I'm quite surprised we haven't had another bite recently. You know, that tide has dropped, not massively, but it's definitely ebbing now. And I thought, to be honest, it might have switched some stuff on. So everything really we've had has been in daylight, which is nice, because obviously you get to see it really well. But I am surprised we've had nothing into dark, and as that tide's turned. Like I said, I've had literally nothing on the fish baits at all, and I've been mixing up the ranges. So this last one was probably maybe 40, 50 yards. The one before it was maybe 20, 25. And the ones before that have been chucking out. So the next one I'll probably chuck out again. But yeah, still no sign of Mr. Bass, which I am a little bit gutted about. Look at this mess that I brought in. Look at all of that. Look at the size of those puppies. And I think that was the one I bent out to get it out. They look like, I don't know, 8 O's maybe. So someone who's either after some conger, well, like I said, there was rumours of some taupe coming out as well a little while ago. Well, there we have it. I'm all packed away. The only thing left to pack away is the camera. So not a bad session at all, really. I've really enjoyed tonight. It's so difficult coming off. I say the last session that I actually videoed, being a blank, it's always difficult posting a blank. Even when you're doing the edit, it's like, does anyone really want to watch this? And of course, you get a few comments, oh, what a waste of time. But, you know, it's fishing. and we all blank. So, yeah, it's difficult. Just, I don't know. You got to post them, really, because at the end of the day, it's got to show other people that are just starting, like I was not so long ago, that actually don't catch fish all the time. Even when you think you're going to catch fish, sometimes you just don't. They're just not there. So anyway, good session today. I really thought when it got dark, to be honest, I really thought it was going to switch on, and it just didn't. So no fish in the dark at all, but we did get a couple of little strap congers, which ruined 2 rigs of mine, and one small smooth hound, and then a reasonably decent one. I did weigh it, like I say, it was £8. I can't even remember what it was now. It was £8 something, at the top end of £9. Yeah, which I'm really chuffed about. I actually thought it was bigger. When it went off, it really went off, and I thought we're into a really good fish here. But yeah, still a decent fish though, isn't it? It's not far off a £10, not far off a double. But yeah, I'll definitely take it. So I do hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. If you did enjoy it, please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And click the notification bell when you've done that, because then you'll be notified of any other uploads that I do. And also check the description for a link which will send you off to eBay, where I've got a couple of items there for sale, which just helps finance this lot. So thank you again. I really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one, which is a comp, which I'm really looking forward to. I haven't done one for ages. But yeah, till then, please take care, stay safe, and maybe I'll see you out there. Cheers.